Okay, what if I told you that for years you've been using the most powerful tool you own completely wrong? I'm talking about your sleep. And what we're about to dive into isn't some new idea. No, it's an ancient science that modern neuroscience is only just now starting to understand.
No, seriously, think about it for a second. What if the answer to that huge problem you're facing, that million-dollar idea you've been chasing, or the key to your dream life, what if it's not about hustling harder? What if it's all about sleeping smarter?
I mean, it's a crazy paradox when you think about it, right? You spend your entire day grinding it out, building, hustling, trying to create a better future, but then what happens? The second your head hits that pillow, you kick off an 8-hour marathon of, well, practicing anxiety. You're worrying, you're stressing, and you're basically undoing all that hard work you just did.
So how do we end up doing this to ourselves? Well, it's by consuming what our source here calls digital trash. Yep, you heard me. You think you're just chilling out, unwinding for the night, but scrolling through all that negative news, comparing your life to everyone else's on social media, or just replaying that stressful day at work over and over, you're literally programming your subconscious for failure. It's like you're feeding your brain the wrong code right at the moment it's most ready to listen.
But hey, here's the good news. The solution to this super modern problem, it isn't some fancy new biohack or some passing trend. No, this is a timeless secret. A secret that's been understood and used by some of the most advanced civilizations and brilliant minds our world has ever seen. We're talking everyone from ancient mystics all the way to modern inventors.
And look, this isn't just some one-off trick. This is a universal principle. In ancient Vedic India, they called it Sankalpa Vigyan, which literally means the science of resolve. Pretty cool, right? The Egyptians, they built entire sleep temples where people would go to get answers and even cures in their dreams. And get this, even Thomas Edison, the famous inventor, used this exact state to basically pull world-changing ideas right out of thin air.
So what's the secret sauce here? Well, the core of this whole thing is captured in this amazing quote from the Upanishads: "The divine resides in your feeling." See, this isn't about just thinking a thought, it's about the feeling, the emotional state you carry with you as you fall asleep. That feeling, that is the real command you're sending out.
Okay, so what is this magical window we're talking about? Modern science actually has a name for it, the hypnagogic state. It's that short, kind of dreamlike moment right as you're drifting off to sleep. You know the one. It's where the wall between your conscious mind and your subconscious mind gets, well, paper thin. It's almost like a glitch in the matrix of your own biology, and you can totally learn how to use it.
Let's peek inside your brain for a sec to see what's going on. When you're wide awake, thinking, analyzing, you're in a beta brainwave state. That's often where all the stress and the how am I going to do this thinking lives. Then, as you start to relax, you drift down into alpha. But the magic moment, the real sweet spot, is the theta state. That is the gateway. It's when your subconscious is wide open, just waiting for your instructions. I love this analogy. Think of the theta state as your mind's giant enter button. All day long, you're typing stuff into the search bar. All your worries, your goals, your problems, but none of it gets sent. It's only in this tiny little window before you fall asleep that you can finally hit enter and send that command rocketing out to the universal supercomputer to get to work on a solution. So why does this work so darn well? It all comes down to a cool psychological trick called the Zeigarnik effect. Basically, our brains are wired to obsess over things that are unfinished. They hate open loops. So when you give your brain a big question and then just fall asleep without answering it, you're creating the ultimate unfinished task. Your subconscious just can't let it go, so it works on finding the answer for you all night long. All right, you ready for the actual technique? It's ridiculously simple. Step 1, digital blackout. Put the phone down, no screens, for at least 10 minutes before bed. Step 2, physical reset. Lie down and just relax. Let your whole body feel heavy, kind of like what yogis call corpse pose. Step 3, plant the seed. As you feel yourself drifting off, ask one clear, powerful question. And now for step 4, and listen up, because this is the most important part, you have to release it. Let it go. Do not try to figure out the answer. You've got to surrender. So, what kind of questions should you be asking? You want to be specific and empowering. So instead of thinking, oh man, I'm in so much debt, you flip it and ask, how do I attract $10,000 this month? Instead of worrying about your job, you ask, show me the clear path to my dream career. See the difference? You're asking for a solution, not just staring at the problem.
Okay, hang on. Before you get all excited and try this tonight, you absolutely have to know about the #1 mistake. This is the thing that makes it fail for like 99% of people.
And if you get this part wrong, it's not just that it won't work, you could actually end up getting more of what you don't want. So this is crucial.
The big mistake is trying to solve the question with your logical, waking brain. That's your beta state talking. It's that feeling of doubt, that desperation, that little voice in your head going, but how? How will it happen? That's what kills the whole process. You have to shift from that worry into what the ancient texts call Shraddha. And that just means unconditional faith. It's this deep, deep feeling of trust that the answer is already on its way to you.
Here's the best way to think about it. You need to ask your question with the same simple, absolute faith a little kid has when they ask their mom for a glass of water, right? The kid doesn't worry about the plumbing or where the cup came from or if the water bill was paid. They just ask because they know with 100% certainty that they're going to get it. That is the feeling. That's Shraddha.
So really, it all boils down to this one choice. You can keep using your nights to practice anxiety, or you can start using them to practice success. The choice is completely yours. So I'll leave you with this one final question. Tonight, in that magical moment right before you fall asleep, what question are you going to plant?